Here's my stack of pecan wood. This is from the tree we cut down a couple years ago. And I've got all different sizes. I've got rough cut. I've got thin planks and thicker planks. And I've just been saving it. Made a bunch of birdhouses out of it. It's a nice hardwood. It's beautiful once you sand it. Here's the last of our PEET boot dryers. Not as old as the other ones I've made. A couple years ago, I made a video where I put together a box and I reconfigured the insides of that, took the heater elements out and made a boot dryer box. Well, this is the last one we had, and of course now this one broke. You can see how it just snaps off right there in the corners, right here, when you put boots on them. It's like they're made out of potato chips. They got to be stronger than that. So I took some of that pecan wood and I made a box. I didn't film this, me making the box, because I feel like all us guys should be able to make a box, right? I mean, I just cut out a top and 4 sides and just put it together. But I just want to show you what this pecan wood looks like. Isn't that great? It's like a real light, almost like a yellow tan tint to it. And I made this one a little bit different. So I didn't make it really deep, like a really big box. I just put it together with screws, and I don't have any woodworking tools. This is a circular saw, a jigsaw, and some sandpaper, and a screw gun, and I just screwed it all together. But anyway, I've got to cut the holes in it, and instead of making like a normal deep box like I did the other one, I made this one really thin. I think it's only 3 inches here, and I'm going to put legs on it. I actually bought some legs off Amazon, and to get it like 4 inches off the ground. So I've got to cut the holes in it and put the feet on it, and I got the fittings over there. Here's the fittings that I use. These are just drains, like a sink drain, or not a sink drain, but like a shower drain. And these are the kind that you've actually got to glue PVC into. And this boot dryer, the tubes on the boot dryer fit into that perfectly. And you can actually use glue on that. So there's 2 screws we got to take off. And that's what it looks like. There's a cover on top of this. Got to be very gentle. Look at that. It's just like melted on there in 2 spots. That's all that is to get that cover off. Now you can see inside here the 2 heating elements that we need, and they're held in by a little cross rod, a little rod that goes across. So it's just held in by pressure. I'm going to get some needle nose and pull this out. See the spacing apart on these 2? Let's just make sure we got some good spacing here. Yeah, so it's like these 2 things got to touch, that's all. Yeah, so if we just put these anywhere on here, as long as these 2 things are touching, that's about the same distance apart as this. Now if we go inside here, I'm going to see if I can do this as you're watching. See that? That's what holds it in, this little pin. And you got to try to do it without bending them too bad, because if you bend them, they're not going to stick back in the pipe again. Just take my time and wiggle them out. And then these just come right out. 1 and 2. And then right here, there's just a split. Okay, so that's what we need to make it. Now with this, we just got to cut this off. There's 1. All right, so if I want this to be the front of the box, you can't put these directly in the center of the box because the shoes, the foot of the shoe is going to hang over the front a lot, so it'll be top heavy. So you kind of want to offset these closer to the back of the box, but you don't want them so far back to the box where like the heel of your shoe would rub on your wall. You know, when you're putting your boot on, you don't want it to hit the wall behind you. So not in the center, but a little bit offset to the back. And like I said, they have to be kind of almost touching. What I have here is a 2 1/4 inch hole saw. So you can see I'm flipping it over on the inside and just putting the bit in the inside. Because if you push all the way through, sometimes it'll break the board on the inside. See that? Okay, now that we got our holes cut out and we got these where we want them centered, I'm just going to put a couple deck screws right through here. Okay, so just 2 screws on each one is all you need. I mean, that's so sturdy for a pair of boots. That's fine. Screws came through a little bit on the bottom, but that's all right. Remember, inside there's a screen way up there so that stuff don't fall in the heater element from the inside when you put your boots on. I don't know how good this stuff is. Now my PVC glue is hard. Don't leave your glue out in the stinking garage in the heat and then in the cold because it turns hard. So I got clumps of it. But we got to use what we got. We got to use what we got. We ain't playing around. Just smashing it on there. So now I'm just going to feed these into the holes, and you can kind of like squeeze them tighter together to feed them in. This is the tricky part, trying to put these little rods back in. You could see my holes were off. When I first drilled my holes and I put it on top there, I didn't like the way it was. I should have had it over a half more inch to be centered. So I had to get the jigsaw and just fix these holes because I didn't like where they were. So I'm just trying to feed it back into the holes here. Now there's little wings on here, these little tabs. You can flatten these little tabs out to widen it. Okay, so that one's in. Now I'm just going to get these tabs and bend these tabs back out. And that holds it in place. You can see the tabs on this one. See the little tabs? There's 3 tabs. Okay, so our heater elements are in there. Our little rods are back in, holding it in place. Now I have this banding tape, this stainless steel stuff, and I'm just going to make little pieces to screw on to hold the wires in place. And I'm going to put 2 on this main cord here, just for a little extra. And I'm just using these tiny little screws with wider heads. Okay, that's all done. So you could pull that and it's not going to affect the heaters inside there at all. So here's the cheap little legs that I bought. It comes with the screws. Basically just little angles. That's what the leg's going to look like right there. So we just screw them on just like this on all 4 corners. The only problem is my width here with 2 brackets. Are they going to hit each other? Is it wide enough? It might. You know, I'm probably going to have to cut a little bit off of here. Okay, so here's what I did. I put a mark right in the dead center, and then I just lined up the feet to the outside where they're going to mount to, and I just got a saw and I cut this end off right up to the edge. So both these feet, this one and then this other one in my hand, is going to go on this side, but I cut them off at that line. Okay, here's the finished product on the little legs. Nice pecan wood. These just fit on there, the boot inserts. The corners don't match up perfectly with that rough cut I had to do. Let's look underneath here and see what it looks like underneath. So here's the whole basics to it and all, right there. That's all I did. Biggest mistake was not lining up my holes properly before I used the hole saw. You can see how the first hole was over here and I moved them both over ½ inch to the right because I just didn't like the way I had it centered. Because the idea of this at first was to have 2 boot dryers. So 4 of these, 2 here, 2 on this side, and then 2 on this side. But it would have took up so much of this wood. You wouldn't have saw any of this wood on here. So I just left it a single boot dryer. So that's it here. Let's get some paper towels and see if this thing works. All right, I put 2 dripping wet paper towels just laying over top of the boot dryer. One on that side, one on this side, and we're going to pretend like it is a pair of soaking wet boots, and I just plugged it in here. I'll wipe this water off, but I did put a coat of polyurethane on this wood just for that reason, when your boots drip. But let's come back here in, I don't know, a half an hour and see if this is working. Usually sometimes you can feel more up right here, but we'll see. Okay, so it's been about an hour. Still wet down here. This is dry. All on the top here is dry. But it's still not completely dry, but well, inside here you can feel the heat. And this is pretty hard right here. But not completely dry yet. If I put my hand on it right here, yep, right in the middle. So the heater element's probably right around here. So right above it, you can feel how the PVC is pretty warm. A little bit of heat this high up. But once you get to here, it's cold. So it's definitely sucking air up. And just the heat is just pulling cold air up and out the top of his shoe. This is the next day, and we've got completely dry towels. Completely dry. So it's not a fast dryer. Usually you do put your shoes on here overnight, and then they'll be nice, dry, and crispy for you for the next day. A little warm up top here, where the heat's coming out. And right around here, where the heater actually is. That's it. Don't throw away your old boot dryers. Just put a new base on there for them.